Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I've made my last video. My last video was all the way back, I think at the beginning of the year. Hopefully, I'm gonna try and make these more consistent if I can, just with work and uni and all that stuff. It is gonna be about gaining strength in terms of powerlifting and training in general, and what I've learned in these past, I want to say 4 weeks, because these past 4 weeks have been the most impactful in terms of training progression. So a bit of backstory before I get into these few things. I was in a bit of a slump in terms of training for, I want to say, around 6 weeks. Within those 6 weeks, it was very frustrating. I was very demotivated. I was very demotivated. My body was just not recovering well, and my energy levels were just pretty much dead. It got to a point where a stranger went up to me during the gym at the end of a session, and he pretty much told me that I looked really tired, and obviously being this young, I shouldn't be fucking dead out of the water. Yeah, that really got me to ask the question, it got me to step back and ask the question, am I doing everything I can to make my training progress? And obviously the answer was no, I wasn't. In terms of comparisons from my previous block leading up to that plateau of 6 weeks, I was progressing really well. I was projected to hit good numbers, and then all of a sudden just had this massive downfall. And what contributed to that was 1, my sleep, 2, my food intake, 3, my water, and then 4th is just basically my stress management. It seems very obvious, right? These 4 things, you should be able to keep a tab on all of these things to progress the training. But in the moment, it felt like I was doing enough. Whereas when I really took a step back, I realized I wasn't doing shit, and I needed to improve on these things for me to progress well in my training. During these 6 weeks, my sleep, in terms of sleep, it was very shit. I was getting 6 to 7 hours, sometimes even 5, and those 7 hours that I got weren't even quality hours. I was still waking up groggy. My eyes didn't want to open. It was just a bit of a mission to get out of bed. And with my food and water intake, I was eating here and there, but I wasn't eating properly or enough before my sessions. I wasn't hitting my protein, and with my water intake, I was drinking sips of water here and there, but then sometimes I would forget to drink water before my training session, so I would come in pretty much dehydrated. And also my stress management, I had my finals coming up during this time, and just a whole bunch of uni work and extra stuff. I was also adding extra stress on myself because I was playing this game called Valorant. If you don't know what it is, don't even bother searching it up. I wouldn't wish that curse upon anyone. It's just I played that game before I even went to bed, so it was also if you play Valorant, you understand shit's fucking triggering, and it kind of fucked with my sleep as well. So my emphasis basically through my whole experience, I wasn't putting enough emphasis on what I was doing outside of the gym to show results inside. And that's when these previous 4 weeks I've really changed things up. I'm getting 7-8 hours of sleep properly. like having proper emphasis on it, like cooling the room down, having a proper routine and sleep schedule, so I'm sleeping at the same time and waking up at the same time as well. And that's really helped with just my overall mood, energy, and just motivation to get inside the gym. With my food, I'm actually eating now. I'm eating enough, or I hope I'm eating enough. I'm trying my best to hit the protein targets. And with my water, like I'm aiming for, 2.2 liters of water, maybe even 3 sometimes per day. Making sure to drink before my sessions as well, so I don't die. And with my stress management, I've stopped pretty much playing Valorant before I go to bed, and I've just learnt to take breaks throughout the day and not overly stress myself with certain things, and that's really helped with my performance inside the gym as well. I wasn't doing enough outside of the gym to make my training show anything. I wasn't really being self-accountable within those 6 weeks where I plateaued heaps. I would go to the extent of being like, oh yeah, is my training working at this point? Like, do I have to change something up? Whereas like, if you really take a step back, if you honestly step back and ask yourself, are you doing everything outside to make your training progress? That can really help. And that's my personal experience. An analogy I could use is like, I was going to uni classes, I was doing all your tutorials, labs and all that stuff. I wasn't doing anything outside of those classes, like study, doing extra work outside of it to perform well in exams and stuff. That's the same can be said with lifting. Like, training can only do so much, but it's mostly dictated by what you do outside of the gym. And yeah, going forward with my training, I'm going to try uphold these 4 things. I'm still not perfect with it yet. I'm still trying my best to optimize everything, and yeah, hopefully you guys could take a few tips from it, or maybe even ask yourself that question as well. Like, if you're in a plateau, or you're just not finding that your strength training or just training in general is progressing, maybe it could be related to one of these 4 things. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you've had a similar experience before, where you're like in such a plateau, but then you've managed to find this one thing that helped you fix your training, yeah, see you.